Hello, how are you? This is Sathona here in the daily grind for DC Legends. Um, I'm showing you today that I'm gonna be joining my own alliance. I have been trying for a couple of weeks now, joining an actual live alliance that is not mine, to try life as a newbie on an alliance run by some other players, but I have not gotten response from a lot of them. And so I decided to, in order to actually be able to show you what life as a newbie is like, I have to again make one of my alt accounts join the alliance that I created for myself back when alliance were introduced. So this is mine, run by Sathonan. I'm a level 80 player, or I have a level 80 account. So I was not one of the people that first reached that level. As you can see, there are 3 people in there already, and they are my alt accounts. I open the invitation to everybody who is in an alliance with very few people or not very active to come join Injustice for All, because I can at least assure you that myself make at least 200 points every PvE day, and I occasionally reach 100 points during PvP days, and I average around some days I even run the heroics on PvE up to 300 points when I have all the characters available. So I reach on my own at least the third rank of rewards. So I have applied for my own alliance, and I'm going to I hate this. I don't know why they switched this. We used to be able to just change accounts immediately, but now I have to log out, log in again, and choose my account. So it has to load everything 3 times. Anyways, the invitation is open if you are a new player and you are running into trouble because you can't score a lot of points for your alliance and they are pressuring you um, to make some points or risk being kicked out. My alliance is very laid back. I don't pressure anybody. I used to have 8 actual life members, but they have gone to greener pastures or alliance that can, as you can see now, I have here the request from my alt account, test newbie. Okay, this guy looks cool. Whatever. No level restrictions. You can join as soon as you are able to put a request, and I don't pressure anybody into making points. I would like to name a couple of the alliances that I tried to join, but I think it would be like bad press for them. I don't know if they have been busy. I don't know if their leaders or their commanders are having trouble checking in. But if you join Injustice for All, what I can promise you is that I am active within half an hour after reset every day, so I can check for your requests and you will be immediately welcome. No question asked. So if you try and leave your application during the day, I live in the American continent and my time is that of Central or Mountain Time, I believe. I live in Mexico, so we just use daylight savings, but the actual time is the same throughout the day for all my country. We don't have different time zones like they do in the United States. If you are from South America, then you could be a bit ahead, especially if you are from Argentina and Central America. Or Canada, I believe they also have different time zones, but I am usually logged in after reset every day within half an hour. And then throughout the day, 4 or 5 hours after reset, and then I sleep 6, 7 hours, and I log in again so I can pretty much approve any application on the same day that it's made, so you don't have to wait a lot. I have been missing a lot of points because I didn't have my score. And as you can see, this today is a PvP day, and I usually don't use the characters that are listed on the arena battles because I don't have many of those upgraded as a coherent team. Like the team today, even though in my main account I have all of those characters and all of them are at least gear 10 now, the level I do PvP, I can't actually compete with just a gear 10 account or with gear 10 characters, so I can't pursue the 10 points, and I don't. But on PvE days I try to make the whole 10 points team and go for at least 200 or 300 points if I have the time. So I usually reach with just my alts 2 or 3 levels of rewards every day, and I make enough points to buy everything. So the more the merrier. If you want to join, you are welcome to do so. So now I'm going to show you. Since this week the featured 5-point character is General Zod, I am able to actually use a 5-point team and score. I am able to score higher with my lower level accounts. For example, this. My main PvP team on this test account is this. These characters are all gear 6, and I'm running into kind of trouble because with the Superman rewards on anniversary, I unlocked him before I was ready to have 4-star characters, and I had to bring Zod up to speed, and that brought his total power above everybody else on my roster, because Zod apparently is able to break 8,000 points of power. Now, the good part about being low level is that you can pretty much throw whoever you want. If you stay sometime at rank 3 or lower, all the fights are very easy and you can outrun them. and you just have to worry about gear. And once you have your characters geared to a certain level, PvP becomes very very easy, and it's easy to rank to at least 70 shards every week without a varied roster. And if you really push it, you can even score. I have been able to score up to 90 shards on a different account. So I'm not going to try to do it this week because I'm having trouble with in my activities. So I haven't been able to play efficiently, which is a word I hate using for games, because it demands a commitment that not many people can really assure for a team. Besides, in this game, alliances don't give you that big of a reward to merit worrying about the scoring a lot. There is nothing to be gained from scoring top 10, top 50, top 100, except alliance currency, the tokens for the alliance store. That's only helpful if you are low level like this test account. If you are able to buy a couple of energy for PvP or for PvE with your alliance tokens, it helps you a lot to finish your legendary missions for each day. And you can start building a more varied roster faster. But the downside is you have to play around the clock. Now, because I'm rank 4 now on only a very few select characters, I am facing bots with passives. And now this team that used to be very easy, if you remember, I showed in another video that this team is not really a problem because you throw an all green team at it and you do pretty well. I can show you right now. As you can see, I have already unlocked Captain Cold, and I have a rank 2 capable Killer Frost. And if I finish my red alerts for today on this account, I'm gonna have a rank 2 Harley Quinn Vexing, I mean. And you can, this is the instigator of all these problems for me. I don't know why I clicked on him. Maybe because it was bothering me. When you reach enough shards to unlock a new character, you get it on the first rows, and I had already Killer Frost, Captain Cold, and there were too many new characters that I hadn't unlocked, and I clicked on Superman by mistake, and now I have to face tough bots on my PvP ladder. But anyways, the point was that yes, alliances are useful for new players more than for established older accounts, and all you get out of the alliance missions is PvP tokens. There are no other prizes in play. If we were getting, I don't know, maybe like other games that have PvP ladders, for example in DC Unchained, they are giving now tokens for the skins, which will be equivalent to the legendary ranks that we have here in DC Legends. So it pays in DC Unchained to actually fight for a high rank on PvP, because farming those end medal shards on the other game modes is just to grind it. And I'm going to be uploading videos of DC Unchained in the coming week because we just got today, Wednesday, a new patch that includes a new chapter for the story mode and 5 new characters. They do differently the releases over there. They instead of just putting 1 or 2 characters each month, they are apparently going to be upgrading both the story mode, and they released characters in groups that are called families. For example, the Bat family has Catwoman, Batman, Robin, Joker, and Harley Quinn as part of that family, and there are different families without going into much detail. And today, the patch for the latest update went live, and we got the Cosmic Family that includes Lobo, Martian Manhunter, Starfire. There are 5: Lobo, Martian Manhunter, Starfire, Queen Bee, and some girl. I think it's called Blackfire or Black Star, Darkfire, something like that. That I had never seen before in comics. But we got the 5 characters at once, and I find it funny because the rosters are starting to even out in both games, which is it's obvious that we're going to end up having very similar rosters. But some of the guys that people are asking on the forums for DC Legends are actually on DC Unchained, and some characters that we had them here before. But on DC Unchained, they had a ton of characters that we have been asking for on DC Legends at launch. Like the obvious ones were available on DC Unchained from the get-go. They have Aquaman, Siren, Mera, but they had Ocean Master and Black Manta at launch. That was one family at launch. They had Flash, they had Grodd, and they had Grodd before we got him. And Grodd over there is very helpful for PvE. I haven't unlocked the unlock method is very different on DC Unchained. The Flash family is Flash, Captain Cold, Gorilla Grodd, Heatwave, which some people have been asking for Heatwave here, and for some weird reason they have Cyborg lumped up with the Flash. The Superman family, it's Lex Luthor, which is an armored Lex Luthor that kind of combines what's Sexy Lexi here and armored Sexy Lexi in DC Legends are a single character over at DC Unchained. And Supergirl, Doomsday, and Silver Banshee, and they got Silver Banshee before we got her. And from the Green Lanterns, they have Green Lantern, they have Sinestro, they have Bliss, Larfleeze, and Star Sapphire at launch. Now, DC Unchained has been live, at least for the Asian market, for some 10 months now. It's approaching its first anniversary in 3 months. It launched on February, and it's already got 2 big patches, and they added 2 families. The latest family over there was the Mystics, and again, they got some guys over there before we got them, and they were missing compared to DC Legends because the previous to the latest patch included Satana, Black Adam, Shazam, Eclipso, and the Enchantress. So they were behind us on that regard. We had all those characters. Satana, Black Adam, Shazam were at launch on DC Legends, and we got Enchantress before they got Enchantress. But they got all of those together, and now they have Eclipso before us. So that's cool. I actually stopped playing Unchained for a long time before because 10 months ago it looked like they didn't know where to take the game, and they introduced the legendary skins, but they weren't available for everybody. And now they're catching up with all the characters that didn't have a skin. They are getting their skins. The latest ones are for Ocean Master, and Siren just got her skin that it's kind of weird. Star Sapphire actually gets a skin that it's the classic Star Sapphire from the 60s, and it's a killer for PvP and PvE. And Star Sapphire is also very good on both PvE and PvP over there, just like she is here. But anyways, I'm digressing. I tend to digress a lot. That's why people hate me on the DC Reddit. The point is, don't worry about alliance missions, because over time, you see, this is a 3 weeks old account, and I'm already able to do most of the things that have to be done to get your bonuses. I don't like to play efficiently because I feel it takes away from the fun, and I'm also not committing completely to this test account. I'm behind on uploading a couple of videos, so I'm going to upload them displaced in time, just so they are relevant, because I already have the gear 5 and upwards, the Mat 3 tutorials done. But if I would upload them today, it's kind of pointless. So it's better if I upload them on Friday. So if there are people struggling with that yet, they are able to actually prepare on time for Saturday, when you have all the material events available. Also, I would like to touch, just as I'm about to finish my PvP board for this account, I strongly recommend all new players to clear as many boards as possible. The video after this one is going to be dealing with fixing an account that can't finish PvP because you chose to upgrade your characters to a high rank before being prepared to actually deal with high rank characters. I'm having trouble now. As you can see, this is I shouldn't be fighting actual people this low in the ladder. I'm under 1200 trophies, and I'm already facing a live player team that might have gotten abandoned, because a guy to have a Robin and a Superman and a Mera means this guy was playing at least 8 months ago. But it doesn't take, even if you try real hard, it doesn't take 8 months to get out of those ranks. There have been prizes for Superman in the past 8 months. There have been, Mera was a board clear, I believe, like 6-7 months ago. So that meta should be at least a rank 5, not a rank 3. And it's obviously under geared because I'm beating it very, very easily. And that's because my own characters are all at gear 6, so they overpower pretty much everything they face at this level in the ladder of PvP. So the next video is going to be about fixing an account that is not able to fight on PvP and get results, and is not able to actually clear red alerts. Red alerts are more important also for new players than they are for old players. And an old player like me and everybody who has been level 80 for over 6 months has all the characters they want at the rank they want them. If you have been playing for a year or a bit more, you already have characters at L3 and are already able to finish every monthly event to get at least an L3, and you push for L4. And if you invest some money in this game, then you are able, this is a live account, this is a new player that who hasn't decided if he wants to commit. So user 6734038, I'm very sorry, but I'm going to run all over you. But he has a rank 2 flash, so he has been doing some PvP. That's one way to tell with a level of certainty just how long a player has been playing. Because he's gotten a fairly high rank Captain Sod, he has at least a couple of medium level characters on the restricted list, so he was able to clear up to node 4 or 5 of the event that he might have given up. But I'm going to show you shortly, just to try to get this video under 1 hour, because I tend to be very, very long-winded, I'm noticing, with these videos, since I can't edit stuff like I could if I were doing this on a PC. But anyways, now this is an older account, or well, he has a rank 3 sword, but that is gear 3, gear 4 sword. Once you reach rank 3 and gear 5, I was over 2000 with mine. And he might have both I remember Cyborg Superman was just on sale, so he might have gotten one pack. And this is why I advise new players that don't plan on invest heavily in this game to not go for shards, because shards without gear are useless. Shards without gear gets you this. They get you stomped on PvP. And the whole appeal of Cyborg Superman is that he has an upgrade for his basic, so he is a can't miss. So he craps all over Harley Jester. So instead of buying a cyborg Superman that is not even rank 4, so he doesn't get his passive that makes him immune to criticals. You could have instead spent, instead of 8,000 gold for 100 shards or whatever the package was, you could have spent 2,000 gold on some material reruns, and you will be clearing your sword event, so you will end up with at least a legendary 1 or perhaps a legendary 2 general sword for next month for basically free. It's not that I forbid or I prohibit that you guys, that you new guys, because this is for the newbies, this is why I advise you to focus on getting your gears. You don't have to reach gear 9 the first time you're able to, because it's going to take you around a month and a half or 2 months to reach level 60, so you can actually level your characters to level 50. Oh wow, it was 10 in a row. No wonder this thing is half an hour already, and I'm seeing a lot of live players. So maybe they messed with the sorting out. The only opponent here that is of any concern to me is user 789606 because he's over 8,000 power, so everybody else is ripe for the picking. Anyway, I'm digressing again. So let me show you real quick. I could have upgraded my characters a bit more in gear just to be able to clear this, and those 23 shards would be really useful right now, because that will put me right at rank 5 days into the event, and I have yet to run my notes. Yeah, I have 12 shards for pickup today because I'm already here. This is a 3 weeks old account. No money spent on it, and I didn't go full 6 because that eats time into my main account, but I'm going to show you that I do have capability to go full gear 6, but I don't want more power on General Sword at the moment. I'm going to forget completely about Donna Troy. I can take her rank 4, but she's not going to be useful on the long run until an event for her or a board clear is made available for players. I have a Swamp Thing that is fairly highly geared for a 3 weeks account, and I'm going to show you my Sexy Lexi, who I need to get to rank 4 so I can use him as a leader just to try it out. This is one of the characters that a newbie should pursue in the short term because he has easy shards through the PvP packages. If you can get him and Bane to legendary 1 or 2, they are going to be way more useful than you spending money on trying to get, for example, I don't even know who is available today to buy their stuff. Oh, I already have a rank 2 capable vexing, but I can advise you, if you are new to the game, get your live wire up in rank. If you clear 2 boards every day without missing, you are going to end up, if you have no shards at all for live wire, you're going to end up with 300 shards that are enough to get her to legendary 1. And if you but I don't have this unlocked. I'm going to show you with my main account. I have her L4 on my main account. But if you can only get her to legendary 1, pick this one. Pick Lightning Storm. Because that lets you turn her into an evasion striker. And if you can get her legendary 2, you can try, I believe it's the Living Lightning. It's one of these, it's one of the passives that lets you, oh no, this passive counter attacks. I think the passive makes her get Torn Meter. I don't remember. I haven't used her in a long time because I started going in a different direction, and the meta shifted from when Livewire was needed to counter the archers. But since the archers are coming back, you can never not invest on Livewire. She's very good countering reds, and most of the can't miss characters are either reds or greens, so she's never at a disadvantage, and she strikes very, very hard at high levels. Anyways, get her. I can advise you to get her. Get your Lexi up, because if you are a new player, out of all the stuff that you have available, Lexi is the only one that has a purging basic with a fairly easy gate to meet, because none of these are going to give you purging until you reach rank 2 with Wonder Woman Princess of Themyscira. And if Princess of Themyscira is not legendary 2, then she's not that useful, because you want her as a leader. Purging is the first part of it, but you really want her as a leader, and you are not going to get her anytime soon. A year and months ago, she was made available through several PvP weeks. She is the character that has had the most heroic challenges available in the old form that only netted you 200 shards, and she was one of the first made available with the new model that lets you farm infinitely. But you're just not going to be getting a purger that has purge in his or her basic anytime soon. So Lexi is one of your best options. He's a very, very nice control toon that also heals. However, he is very slow and very, 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 very crappy when he is on low gear. He doesn't start getting good until gear 9. And he's one of those characters that really, really benefits from gear 11. So, since he is made available easily again for new players, you should be getting your sexy Lexi, because none of these are going to be made useful for you by the time you finish upgrading your Penguin, or you finish getting Martian Manhunter to Legendary 2 or Legendary 3, probably this game is going to be dead by then. Because even if you finish your alliance missions every day without failing, without missing, it's gonna take you a lot of time to buy the shots. Because, for example, I already scored for my alliance. Yes, there were 2 fights that I did before joining the alliance, so this should be I should already have 500. Anyways, I already got 400 alliance tokens, and I will need to be in a very, very big alliance, like at least 20 or 30 people, and everybody scoring at least 100 points. So I will be getting, I don't know, 6k tokens every day. So I will be able to buy several of these in a row. But then I will have to be checking every 4 hours what the prices are. And if you try to refresh these things, it costs 100 gold every time, and I believe you can do that infinitely. So I'm just going to buy me some PvP packs. Let's roll the dice. Let's see. Oh well, more Batman's cool. No, that was my actual outside of Cyborg that at launch. During the first Christmas event, we got like 200 shards of Cyborg in one go. So that was my first legendary, but I didn't farm him. But my actual first legendary was Batman Crusader. That was the first character that I actually farmed the shards for, and I don't regret it. But he is in need of a utility rework, not damage. He doesn't need more speed. They should keep his basic, giving him meter. Oh, here's another thing. I have a lot of things to do. When you're a new player, when you are starting out, and you can't actually do this Lord of the Unliving because you don't have a rank 5 toon to run the first node of this, and you would be thinking, oh well, I'm missing on legendary essence. You make more legendary essence by upgrading a toon, and if you are low level, you're better off ranking up your toons one every day. Like you can see on my list, I have several characters that can be ranked up, but I haven't ranked them up, like Bane. I'm waiting until I get his passive in one go. I have Batman, I have Harley Quinn, I have Killer Frost. I'm about to unlock Chipmunk and the other Arrow. That's because that way I can get the legendary mission done every day, and you get more legendary essence out of doing that than running the first Lord of the Unliving events. And if you actually use gold to buy energy to finish both legendary missions, the 50 normal missions and the 30 heroic missions, that in truth you just do 30 heroic missions and then you add up 20 normal missions. So it's not that impossible to do every day. It's just very inefficient with the gold. You get around 1800 legendary essence every day if you finish everything. So if you plan to invest in a single week, you have to waste, quote unquote, like 2500 gold every week just to finish everything on time. And you get more essence, legendary essence out of that if you try to run the Lord of the Unliving, because the only node that is worth to repeat over and over again is the last one, and you need legendary characters, legendary 4 characters to run that node. So don't worry about that. And if you have a hero challenge running that we now get the whole month with hero challenges, we didn't have that before. Oh my lord, I'm running out of battery because I'm so long-winded. You just come in here and run. You can run a single node, a single normal node. Why waste good shards? It takes no time at all. I just got my shards for my mission, and I get my challenge event because it gives you the option. Start. You don't even have to win either node. If it's Lord of the Unliving or if it's a heroic challenge node, this game is so easy you don't actually have to win. You just have to start it. You can even start it, pull back like I showed you before with PvP. If you are in a hurry, if you don't have time but you need to finish, you just go in, one leader starts, you take it out of the fight and it counts like a mission collected because you spend the energy before you actually do the mission. So that's what the game looks for. And see, I already got my 20 energy back and I'm ready to continue doing everything else. And I complete my missions and I get everything. Anyways, since I'm running out of battery and I have to upload this thing, I'm gonna stop the video here. And I completed my goal. It's under 1 hour and it's even under 15 minutes. And I already showed you full PvP ladder as you get it when you are low level. This was Sathoran for the Reddit forums here on the Daily Grind. Subscribe, leave a like. If you don't like the videos, leave a dislike. Share your opinions. Ask me what you want to see because I have a certain order, but I tend not to follow it because, as you can see, I can't even finish my videos on time or on cue, to be more precise. I am very, very long-winded. Anyway, we'll be seeing each other next time. Stay tuned because a lot of videos are coming up next week.